New section. Your estimate sucks. We are all terrible estimators. We think we can guess how long something will take. When we really have no idea, we see everything going according to a best case scenario, without the delays that that in that inevitably pop up. Reality never sticks to best case scenarios. That's why estimates that stretch weeks, months, and years into the future are fantasies. The truth is, you just don't know what's going to happen that far in advance. How often do you think a quick trip to the grocery store will take only a few minutes, and then it winds up thinking an hour? And remember when cleaning out the attic took you all day instead of just the couple of hours you thought it would? Or sometimes it's the opposite, like that time you planned on spending 4 hours racking the yard, only to have it take just 35 minutes. We humans are just plain bad at estimating. Even with these simple tasks, our estimates are often off by a factor of two or more. If we can't be accurate when estimating a few hours, how can we expect to accurately predict the length of a 6-month project? Plus, we are not just a little bit wrong when we guess how long something will take. We are a lot wrong. That means if you are guessing 6 months, you might be way off. We are not talking 7 months instead of six. We are talking 1 year instead of 6 months. So 1 year instead of 6 months. That's why Boston's Big Dig Highway project finished 5 years late and billions over budget. Or the Denver International Airport opened 16 months late at a cost overrun of $2 billion. The solution: break break the big thing into smaller things. Break the big thing into smaller things. The smaller it is, the easier to estimate. You probably still going to get it wrong, but you will be a lot less wrong than if you estimated a big project. If something takes twice as long as you expected, better to have it be a small project that a couple weeks over, rather than a long one that's a couple months over. Keep breaking your time frames down into smaller chunks. Instead of one 12-week project, structure it as 12 week projects. Instead of estimating at tasks that take 30 hours more, break them into more realistic 6 to 10 hour chunks. Then go one step at a time. Long lists that long lists don't get done. The new section. Start making smaller to-do lists too. Long lists collect dust. When the last when where's the sorry when the last time you finished a long list of things, you might have knocked off the first few, but chances are you eventually abandoned it, or blindly checked off items that weren't really done properly. Long lists are guilt trips. The longer the list of unfinished items, the worse you feel about it. and at a certain point you just stop looking at it because it makes you feel bad. Then you stress out, and the whole thing turns into a big mess. There is a better way. Break that long list into a bunch of smaller lists. For example, break a single list of 100 items into 10 lists of 10 items. Okay, that means when you finish an item on a list, you have completed 10% of that list instead of the 1%. Yes, yes, you still have the same amount of stuff left to do. But now you can look at the smaller picture and find satisfaction, motivation, and progress. That's a lot better than staring at the huge picture and being terrified and demoralized. Whenever you can divide problems into smaller and smaller pieces until you are able to deal with them completely and quickly. Simply rearranging your tasks this way can have an amazing impact on your productivity and motivation. And a quick suggestion about prioritization: don't prioritize with numbers or labels. Avoid saying this is high priority, this is low priority. Likewise, don't say this is a 3, this is a 2, this is a 1, this is a 3, etc. Do that, and you will almost always end up with a ton of really high priority things. That's not really prioritizing. Instead prioritize visually. Put the most important thing at the top. When you are done with that, the next thing on the list becomes the next most important thing. The way you will only have a single next most important thing to do at a time, and that's enough. Make big, make tiny decisions. Make tiny decisions and make big. Sorry, instead of make big, make tiny decisions. Okay, make tiny decisions. New section. Big, big decisions are hard to make and hard to change. And once you make one, the tendency is to continue believing you made the right decision, even if you didn't. You stop being objective. Once ego and pride are on the line, you can't change your mind without looking bad. The desire to save face trumps the desire to make the right call. And then there is inertia too. The more steam you put into going in one direction, the harder it is to change course. Instead, make choices that are small enough that they are effectively temporary. When you make tiny decisions, you can't make big mistakes. These small decisions make you can afford to change. There is no big penalty if you mess up. You just fix it. Making tiny decisions making tiny decisions doesn't mean you can't make big plans or think big ideas. It just means you believe the best way to achieve those big things is one tiny decision at a time. Polar explorer Ben Saunders said that during his solo North Pole expedition 31 marathons back to back, 72 days alone. The huge decision was often so horrifically overwhelming to contemplate that his day-to-day decision making rarely extended beyond getting the, he said getting to that bit of ice a few yards in front of me. Attainable goals like that are the best ones to have. Once you can actually accomplish and build on, you get to say we nailed it, done. Then you get going to the then then you get going on the next one. That's a lot more satisfying than some pie in the sky fantasy goal you never met. That's it. That chapter will that chapter that chapter have ended. That chapter ended. The new chapter has been beginning. The chapter name is competitors. Don't copy ACME. Sorry, don't copy. First section name, don't copy. Sometimes copying can be part of the learning process. Like when you see an art, like 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 when you see an art student replicating a painting in a museum, or a drummer playing along to John Bonham's solo on Led Zeppelin's Moby Dick. When you are a student, this sort of imitation can be a helpful tool on the path of discovering your own voice. Unfortunately, copying in the business arena is usually more nefarious. More nefarious. Maybe it's because of the copy and paste world we live in this day. You can steal someone's word, images, or code instantly, and that means it's tempting to try to build a business by being a copycat. That's a formula for failure, though. That's that's the formula for failure, though. The problem with this sort of copying is it keeps understanding, and understanding is how you grow. You have to understand why something works, or why something is the way it is. When you just copy and paste, you miss that. You just repurpose the last layer. Instead of understanding all the layers underneath. So much of the work an original creator puts in something invisible. It's buried beneath the surface. The copycat doesn't really know why something looks the way it looks, or feels the way it feels, or reads the way it reads. The copy is a fox finish. It delivers no substance, no understanding, and nothing to base future decisions on. Plus, if you are a copycat, you can never keep up. You're always in a passive position. You never lead. You always follow. You give birth to someone that's already behind the times. Just a knockoff. Just a knockoff. An inferior version of the original. That's no way to live. Then how do you know if you are copying someone? If someone else is doing bulk of the work, you are copying. Be influenced, but not steal. But don't steal. Or if you steal like an artist. Copying copying one is dumb, but copying more than one is good. Pour yourself into your product. New section. Decommoditize. Sorry. De decommoditize. Decommoditize. Decommoditize your product. New section. If you are successful, people will try to copy what you do. It's just a fact of life. But there is a great way to protect yourself from copycats. Make you part of your product or service. Inject what's unique about the way you think into what you sell. Decommoditize your product. Make it something no one else can offer. Look at for an example. Look at Zappos.com, $1 billion online show retailer. A pair of sneakers from Zappos is the same as a pair from Foot Locker or any other retailer. But 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 Zappos set itself apart by injecting CEO Tony his just obsession with customer service into anything it does. At Zappos, at Zappos, at Zappos, customer service employees don't. At Zappos, customer service employees don't use scripts and are allowed to talk at length with customers. The call center and the company headquarters are in the same place, not oceans apart. And all Zappos employees, even those who don't work in customer service or fulfillment, start out by spending 4 weeks answering phones and working in the warehouse. It's this devotion to customer service that makes Zappos unique among shoe sellers. Among shoe sellers. Another example is Polyface, an environmentally friendly Virginia farm owned by Joel Salatin. Salatin has a strong set of beliefs and runs his business accordingly. Polyface says the idea that it does things a bigger agribusiness can't do. Even though it's more expensive to do so, it feeds it it feeds cows grass instead of corn, and never gives the antibiotics. It never ships food. Anyone is welcome to visit the farm anytime and go anywhere. Try that at a typical meat processing facility. Try that at a typical meat processing plant. Polyface Polyface doesn't just sell chickens. It sells a way of thinking, and customers love Polyface for it. Some customers some customers routinely drive from 150 miles away to get clean meat for their families. Pour, so so pour yourself into your product and everything around your product too. How you sell it, how you support it, how you explain it, and how you deliver it. Competitors can never copy the you in your product. The way you in your product. Pick a fight. New section. If you think a competitor sucks, say so. When you do that, you will find that others who agree with you will rally to your side. Being the anti fill in the gap is a great way to differentiate yourself and attract followers. For example, Dunkin' Donuts likes to position itself as the anti-Starbucks. Its advertisements its adver- its advertisements mock Starbucks for using Fritalian terms instead of small, medium, and large. Sorry, small, medium, and large. Another Dunkin' campaign is centered on a taste on a taste test in which it beats Starbucks. There's even a site called there's even a site called Dunkin' Beats Starbucks.com, where visitors can send e-cards with statements like friends don't let friends drink Starbucks. Okay, Audi is another example. It's been talking on the old guards of car manufacturers. It pulls old luxury brands like Rolls Royce, and Mercedes on notice in ads touting Audi as the fresh luxury alternative. Audi takes on Lexus automatic parking system with ads with ads that say Audi drivers know how to park their own cars. Another ad gives a side by side comparison of BMW and Audi owners. The BMW owner uses the rear view mirror. uh, the the BM the BMW users the BMW owner the BMW owner uses the rear view mirror to adjust his hair, while the Audi driver uses the mirror to see what's behind him. Apple Apple jabs at Microsoft with ads that compare Mac and PC owners. And 7 Up bills itself as the Uncola. Under Armour positions itself as Nike for a new generation. All this all these examples show the power and direction you can gain by having a target in your sights. Who do you want to take a shot at? You can even pit yourself as the opponent of an entire industry. Dyson's Airblade starts with the premise that the hand dryer industry is a failure, and then sells itself as faster and more hygienic than the others. I can't believe it's not butter puts its enemy right there in its product's name. Having an enemy having an enemy gives you a great story to tell customers too. Talking a stand always stands out. People get stalked by conflict. They take sides. Sorry, passions are ignited, and that's a good way to get people to take notice. Undergo your competition. Start a new section of this book. Reward. Conventional wisdom says that to beat your competitors you need to one up them. If they have four features, you need five or 15 or 25. If they are spending $20,000, you need to spend $30,000. If they have 50 employees, you need 100. This sort of one upping cold war mentality is a dead end. When you get sucked into an arms race, you wind up in a never-ending battle that costs you that costs you that that co- that costs you massive amount of money, time, and drive, and it forces you to constantly be the defensive too. Defensive companies can't think ahead; they can only think behind. They don't lead; they follow. So what do you do instead? Do less than your competitors to beat them. Solve the simple problems and leave the hairy, difficult, nasty problems to the competition. Instead of one upping, try one downing. Instead of outdoing, try underdoing. The bicycle world provides a great example. For years, major bicycle brands focused on the latest in high tech equipment, mountain bikes with suspension and ultra strong disc brakes, or lightweight titanium road bikes with carbon fiber everything. And it was assumed that bikes should have multiple gears, 3, 10, or 21. but recently fixed gear bicycles have boomed in popularity. Despite being as low tech as you can get, these bikes have just one gear. Some models don't have brakes. The advantage, they are simpler, lighter, cheaper, and don't require as much maintenance. Another great example of a product that is succeeding by underdoing the competition. The flip the flip an ultra simple point and shoot compact camcorder that's taken a significant percentage of the market in a short time. Look at the things the flip does not deliver. No big screen, and the tiny screen doesn't swing out for self portraits either. No photo taking ability. No tapes or discs. You have to offload the videos to a computer. No menus, no settings, no video light, no viewfinder, no special effects, no headphone jack, no lens cap, no memory card, no optical zoom. The flip the flip wins fan the the flip win fans win fan the flip wins fans because it only does a few simple things, and it does them well. It is easy and fun to use. It it goes it goes it goes places a bigger camera would never go, and gets used by people who would never used a fancy camera. Don't shy away don't shy away don't shy away from the fact that your product or service does less. Highlight it. Be proud of it. Sell it as aggressively as competitors sell their expensive features lists. Focus on you instead of they. Okay. The last section of that chapter. Who cares what they are doing? In the end, it's not worth paying much attention to the competition anyway. Why not? Because worrying about the competition quickly turns into an obsession. What are they doing right now? Where are they going next? How should we react? Every little move becomes something to be analyzed, and that's a terrible mindset. It leads to overwhelming stress and anxiety. That state of mind is bad soil for growing anything. It's a pointless exercise anyway. The competitive landscape changes all the time. Your competitor tomorrow may be completely different from your competitor today. It's out of your control. What's the point of worrying about things you can't control? You can't control. Focus on yourself instead. What's going on in here is way more important than what's going on out there. When you spend your time worrying about someone else, you can't spend the time improving yourself. Focus on competitors too much, and you wind up diluting your own vision. Your chances of coming up with something fresh go way down when you keep feeding your brain other people's ideas. You become reactionary instead of visionary. You wind up offering your competitors products with a different coat of paint. If you are if you are if you are planning to build the iPod killer, or the next Pokemon, you are already dead. You are allowing the competition to set the parameters. You are not going to out Apple. They are defining the rules of games, and you can't beat someone who's making the rules. You need to redefine the rules, not just build something slightly better. Don't ask yourself whether you're beating Apple or whoever the big boy is in your industry. That's the wrong question. That's the wrong question to ask. It's not a win or lose battle. The profits and costs are theirs. Yours are yours. If you are just doing to be like everyone else, why are you even doing this? If you merely replicate competitors, there's no point. There's no point to your existence. There's no point to your existence. There's no point to your existence. Even if you wind up losing, it's better to go down fighting for what you believe instead of just emulating others. Okay, with that section, we ended up that chapter. Until then, assalamu alaikum. I will come back with the new chapter. The new chapter name is evolution. Till then, assalamu alaikum.